So I need to make and post a damn leaky cone head. I need to make and post a video about something that happened yesterday in this back parking lot. A few videos back, like a few nights ago, I thought that my dog wasn't gonna make it through the night. He's 17, you know, so it's bound to happen at some point in time. His breed only lives to be 10 to 12. Anyways, he had a really bad fever that night. He couldn't even like get up. He didn't eat anything. He didn't drink anything. He was breathing really hard. He couldn't walk. I really thought he was going to be done. So yesterday I'm going to put him in the car since he mostly lives in the car, unfortunately, and it's very cruel, and it's due to all the junk that's been going on against me and the injustices at previous workplaces where people were paid off to get rid of me and cause my employment to end, and even try to set me up and take my life. All failed. They're under judgment, and if they're not incarcerated yet, they will be. Anyway, so yesterday I'm going to put Ivan in the car, and two guys walk away from an electric company truck. And the electric company I've caught them like driving by half a dozen times. And then when I finally wave, like I've got a video at the beginning of this page where they're basically sitting out in their car. One of them was with a mask on his face for 5 or 6 hours. I'm having phone issues, and I would, think of getting a home phone, but I can't really trust the cable company, unfortunately, due to multiple things that have happened previous. Oh yeah, by the way, do you like my necklace? Kind of spacey, huh? I feel like there's some kind of jasper. Hang on. It will hang right. It's just that I just got out of the shower, so I'm a little wet and sticky from all my oils and stuff. Got some moonstones there, and this is how it clasps in the stone. Anyways, okay, so back to my story. So, yeah, this is what they want to take off the face of the earth. A good, honest person that's full of creativity. Yeah, because somebody else wants my gifts and my inheritance. Nope. Anyway, so these two guys walk away they're over at the electric company's truck, and they are mentioning something about how big my dog is. Yeah, he's real huge. And like I said, I had a suspicion that possibly somebody put something in the car, gave him a treat that, I had something in it, was poisoned or whatever, because he got really sick that night, and then he pulled through, the next day. But it was a Native American dude and then another dude, and they're walking towards me, and one of them saying peace. And I just get my dog in the car and I walk away. I'm not trying to make new friends. And, I'm not snotty. I'm not a snotty person, and I'm not a judgmental person. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. In fact, in the past, before I had to really work hard to protect my life by, any means necessary, I had people say that. They're like, oh, you're pretty and you're even sweet too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had that comment quite a lot. But so anyways, I just walked in the house, because yeah, I'm not a snot, and I'm not rude, and I'm not uncaring. It's just, I have to be this way. There have been several attempts on my life. And I've been targeted since birth, but it's like, it's been turned up full blast, since the, shenanigans with that fake welfare check, which all of it's related. But anyway, since then, and the past couple of years especially, they've really been trying to desperately get rid of me. There have been over half a dozen attempts, put on my life. And that's not counting things like, my brakes being drained and my clutch being screwed with on my beer truck and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I had to walk away, but I just need to document it that there was a Native American man. They were like, taller, not like unfit, not like obese or fat or anything, but they were like taller, well-built men, two of them, and they were over at the electric company's truck, and they were mentioning something about how big my dog was, and it could all be nothing, but with the thing happening with my dog getting sick and almost not making it through the night, I need to actually like mention this. And you know, had I not been had weird, odd stuff happen with the electric company, and even before I left town and went to those 2 jobs where nefarious things happened, and no, it was solidly proven that the Masons were involved and are involved in this. Of solidly proven at the hot springs. I'd mentioned in a video before, but when I talked about a DJ, you know, they'd have like, you know, little parties over there at that hot springs. And I mentioned an incident where I brought some DJs in and they spliffed up in a bar and then the cops shut them down. And, you know, at that time I was in tight with the cops, probably now a few of them maybe, but maybe half of them. You know, like, but at that time I knew quite a bit of them. And so it was after I mentioned that I, you know, was in with cops here in this town, that the one investor or so-called investor, that place is a piece of junk. They're not investing into it. It could be a nice place, you know, it's just that the owner's being taken by this, you know, so-called investor that is part of the Masons, admittedly. And that's when he looked at the manager and said, "Oh, should I bring him in?" And then the manager said, "Yeah." And so it was right after I mentioned that this other Mason from Salt Lake, who was a dark individual, like, you know, black, I guess, not to try to like be PC, because it's ridiculous when you are. Anyways, so yeah, another black Freemason from Salt Lake came in to replace me, specifically. And it was after I mentioned about, you know, having knowing some police officers in this town. And so, let's see, I mentioned about the guys. And then, okay, so the last thing is, so before I left this town and went to these crazy, you know, experiences at these jobs, I mean, it's quite obvious. People were being paid off at them. But before that, when I lived here under the, you know, the big, huge gas station chains, corporate office, there is an electric company or cable company, but they own the parking lot right behind where I lived. And, you know, they would park as close to my window and my bed that I slept as possible. These big surveillance trucks, one in particular, and they would even angle in as far as they possibly could into the corner of that parking lot. And I was having a lot of electronic harassment. I could even prove it with screenshots from my phone, how the signals would jump way up. And you can tell psychologically when it's happening. Not only that, but I saw 2 birds, healthy birds, die of seizures, pet birds die of seizures right in front of my face. But yeah, and then they brought a big truck over, since the little truck, the scalers in that little truck weren't doing the job. They brought a big one in. And I saw the guy back there, and I was up at the top of my stairs. I said, "So what's in that truck?" And he like brushed me off like this. And I said, "No, really, if it's parked right behind my bed, I ought to, you know, deserve to know what's in it." And he was like, "Oh, just a tire and some, you know, some cables or some wire or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, is that what it's got, skylights in it? Okay." So anyways, it's been going on some time, and so that's why I just have to mention that incident from yesterday. This is all being proven. You know, I had a video that just shut off, and it has to do with, you know, parasitic type things, and the video shuts off, so I guess I probably better post it, since apparently there's very important information in it. You crooked freaks, you're not gonna win. Your evil's not gonna win. Your evil intentions are not gonna win. They're going to be fully exposed. When you try to take the life of a well-intending person and you cause a lot of trouble, a lot of loss, deformation of character to somebody that's very influential to the next generations in a positive way, there's something really wrong with the way you think. And I feel really sorry for you when you're going to have to tell your kids why you're going to prison because you tried to kill an innocent woman.